All right, so we're here. We've just wrapped up the Rishabh Pant press conference. There's a lot, not a lot, but there are still certain points that we need to talk about.
Quite a bit.
Very positive from Rishabh Pant, and we had been saying this since the very start, that even when it comes to the captain, he's very calm, he's very composed, answers everything answers everything very, very well and does not leave anything to the imagination and clears everything out. Now with Rishabh Pant also coming out for this press conference, talking about the team environment, what's it like in the dressing room, and especially the captain, vice captain camaraderie.
Yeah, that was actually my first question to him. The first question of the press conference was this one. I said, on multiple occasions we have seen that you have gone up to Shubman, you've spoken to Shubman, and it seems like there's a good bond brewing between the captain and the vice captain. And his answer, he kind of explained it in quite a lot of detail, that off the pitch also and off the field, the captain and vice captain are really good mates. And when you have that trust and belief in each other's ability off the field, it kind of rubs off on the field as well. You can trust each other's instincts and ideas and back each other. There's complete trust. And he said that's what is helping us both, and it's helping the team. And based on this, we want to believe that we can create a collective and play as a unit which will help India going forward. And by the way, once again, another Rishabh Pant story today, or shall we keep it for tomorrow?
No, we shall keep it for after the match.
Again after the match?
Yes, I will tell you when it should go out.
Done.
But not now.
My producer is a hard taskmaster. She will say, okay, chalo, done.
Look, it happened with Siraj, it happened with Rishabh. We need to, not jinx, do everything in our power to not jinx these players. So as of now, let's not talk about that conversation. And hopefully we get to see another 100 or so from Rishabh Pant, and then we can come out and talk about this special moment once again.
But a really good one again.
But I like that Rishabh Pant talked about this, and you asked him, of course. That's what prompted him to answer that. Because this is a very young team. And after that Leeds loss, after performing so well, the batters performing so well, this kind of camaraderie is needed to bounce back from that sort of a loss as a team. Jasprit Bumrah not being there, there are still, there were, at least back when you lost that test match, there were still a lot of things up in the air. Lot of negativity when it comes to the fans, lots of questions being asked, lots of criticism. But then when you have a captain and vice captain who are the camaraderie is good and they know what they're doing, they trust each other with their decisions, then I think it will pass. There's more than enough. Yeah, there's more than enough. You need to, okay. We'll keep it here.
Once it goes, we'll go back.
Yeah, but the point that I was making is, 1 second. Yes. When you have camaraderie like that, it makes it easier for them to bounce back. And you saw exactly that. And we were constantly, throughout the 5 days of the test match that we saw at the Edgbaston, we were talking about how everyone in the team looks so unified. Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant constantly talking to each other. Mohammad Siraj backing the bowlers, Prasidh Krishna and Akashdeep. Ravindra Jadeja also giving his inputs. KL Rahul too in that slip cordon. There are a lot of discussions happening on the field, and it's nice to see how the team is coming together. And even if Jasprit Bumrah was not in the team, he would run in with that water and would sort of have a chat with Shubman or a Rishabh or an Akashdeep. So I think it's looking like a very unified India.
Absolutely. And Rishabh repeatedly emphasized that point, not only to that particular answer, but before that, let me also give you some more details, not the conversation, but Rishabh Pant yesterday wasn't here. He did not come for the training yesterday. Today, the moment the team comes, okay, so let me kind of give you a sense. This is the nursery ground behind us. You can see, I think people can see the nets, right? I think people can see. You can see the 3 nets, 1, 2, and 3.
The third one they can't.
Third one is on this side. That's the throwdown nets. I think you can see all of the nets. You can also see Trisha doing what Trisha does. Anyway, these are the 3 nets. Now, on our right, where I think you can see one of the stands. Yes, that stand. That's the media center. The entry point into the nursery ground is just under the media center. So you kind of come in through that side, which is the main gate side, the Grace gate. The team comes in from the east gate, and then you come straight down, go into the dressing rooms, cross the long room. Across the long room, the stairs, that's the typical lords you see all the time, the players coming down, and then you come out through that stand, the members, and then you come in into the ground. Rishabh Pant, the moment he came in, he comes into the ground, he does his usual pranam, and then he walks on to the hallowed turf of Lords, and then straight away, when quite a few of the others, he was supposed to be doing the press meet, before anything else, he straight away goes to the wicket. I don't know if we can play this. Is there any way we can show this?
Send it to Neil.
This is the one. Neil, you have it in our work group. This one. Okay. This one. This one. Neil, I'm sending it to you. Gargi is sending it to you, or you can just take a look at that. Hey, come up. Neil, just play that. And it was interesting that he goes straight to the wicket. Goes straight to the wicket, first from one side, takes a look at the wicket, kind of taps a couple of times, then goes towards the batting crease, stands where he will take stance, does a couple of shadows, looks very closely at the wicket, and then starts walking towards the press meet. So, good minute and a half, there, standing, observing, noticing the kind of grass, takes a very, very close look at the wicket, Rishabh Pant, and then comes to the press conference. As he was walking with Anand and the rest of the support staff, that's when we had the chat. Gargi says not to talk about it today, that's different, but he observed, this file is not getting uploaded on StreamYard.
Take screenshot and send.
Just duto chobi niye na, Neil, just as she says, take a couple of the screen grabs of Rishabh taking a very close look at that wicket, and when he's on this side, show those two photos. People will understand what we are talking about. It was interesting to see. It was interesting how the first thing that he does is go and check the wicket. 3 other points from that press conference which I think you should know. One, he was very critical of the Duke's ball.
Very, yeah.
Extremely critical of the Duke's ball. Extremely critical. By the way, Joe, you've become a rage in India. You're a serious star in India now. So we now know, after this stint of yours, we need to get you to India and do some television.
I love it in India. Thank you so much.
You're welcome to come to Kolkata to our studios, and we'll welcome you. By the way, that's Joe. He was on our show yesterday. He was the one who's motivated Shubman Gill, according to him.
It's all down to me.
It's all down to you.
It's all down to history.
And you do it again. We'll get another double 100 and celebrated Lords.
You're
But
very welcome.
but Rishabh, that point about the Duke's ball, there you go. See, Rishabh Pant there, checking the wicket. The first thing that he does, comes in, checks the wicket, and then comes. Second point, he said the Duke's ball, every time the ball is getting out of shape very, very quickly. And that's a big problem. He says, and the issue is the players can't do much until and unless Siddharth Monga asked him that should you change that gauge. He said that is not on the players. But if the ball gets out of shape, it becomes very difficult to do anything. And you can see the ball and you can understand that the ball has lost shape. And that impacts, because with a soft ball, you can't do much at all. No. The third news point was about Bumrah. And this is another interesting one. Somebody asked him, I don't know who asked him about Bumrah. Somebody asked him about how good Bumrah is. And he said, for Bumrah, the problem in England is the wicket keeper is in the worst position. The ball does so much after it crosses the batter. He says everything about Bumrah is special. The way he conducts himself, the way his mind works, he's amazing. But dikkat mujhe hota. And he said that. He was laughing. He said, the wicket keeper is in the worst position for Jasprit Bumrah because the ball does so much after it pitches. So that was Rishabh Pant more or less. And obviously on team combination, before anyone asks, on team combination he kept it open. He said whether it will be 3-1 or it will be 3-2, we'll have to take a look at that wicket. But as always, that discussion is still on.
You don't expect an Indian team one day ahead of the match giving away any sort of clues about the team combination. Never happened, never will. That's just how it is. At least you don't have a Ryan Dofkate coming out and saying that everyone is likely to play the game. I think that was one of the funniest press conferences that we've all been to. But anyway, the Duke's ball, it is a problem because even when you talk about the swing, it's not as much or it's not as pronounced. Now that also has a lot to do with the Edgbaston pitch, of course. but after it goes soft, and it goes soft very easily. I think close to 30 overs and it's done.
Yeah, she's spot on because Rishabh made this point not once but about 3-4 times that how the Duke's ball has become a serious issue.
Yeah.
He says, look, we can't talk more about it because as players it is not our remit. It is about the ECB and the ICC and the administrators to
It's
decide.
a new batch, apparently. It's a new batch of
That's
Duke's
what Dilip Jijodia has answered this question yesterday. When he was on call with Amit,
Yeah.
and he's coming to Lords tomorrow for the first day of the match. We've actually asked him to bring
Bring the
a
balls,
new
yeah.
ball and an old ball, the Duke's ball, so that we can kind of do a show with to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will tell Dilip Jijodia, the owner of Dukes, to come and gift a ball, an old ball and a new ball. But we had requested him to bring a new ball and an old ball so that we can do a show and try and understand as to why the players are finding it so hard. Because Rishabh made this point 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
And you can
I think, in the
also
press meet.
you also saw Shubman Gill going to the umpires
over.
every single over. He's trying to get it checked and then changed. And you could also hear Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill conversing on the stump mic, constantly asking, "Change karwa le kya? Change karwa le kya?" But obviously, if it does not pass that test, you can't get it changed.
You mentioned stump mic. That was another interesting point of the press conference
Let's
because
hear
somebody
it.
asked him and said that आप इतना बात करते हो खुद के साथ कि सीधा खेल ले, ये कर ले, वो कर ले, क्या आप ऑलवेज ऐसे करते थे कि क्या इशू है? इसे देखिए, अभी स्टंप माइक थोड़ा सा ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया उन्होंने, इसलिए आप लोगों को पता चल रहा है. मैं तो ऑलवेज करता था, आप लोगों के साथ कम्युनिकेशन नहीं होता था, अभी हो रहा है. So that is Rishabh Pant.
So
And-
if Rishabh Pant,
I don't know. I mean, if the ball doesn't get out of shape, then why is it changed after 80 overs? Why is the new ball given? So you know that it will change shape.
No, it's changing about 30, 35, 40 overs. So it's changing shape
too fast.
too many
It's-
times
it's
and
going
too
soft too
so-
early.
but players like, yeah, you did well, but maybe the previous test match. But the ball is becoming a persistent issue here. And the other part of the PC, somebody asked, I don't know
But
who,
it-
I don't remember.
But was it with every
No,
Dukes
this
ball or
one, this series. He said, पहले कभी ऐसा नहीं होता था with the Duke's ball. This time, this series, it has become a real issue
It's a new
with
batch,
the Duke's
no?
ball.
Because everyone keeps
No, I
saying
know
that it's a
new batch.
So
but
he
they
was
have
he was
changed the
saying
lacquer or
correct something
Yeah.
that has gone wrong. He was saying this particular batch, and then one of the journalists asked him, "Ki aap ye," again a continuation of this stump mic thing that you are controlling yourself and reining yourself in and all of that. And he said, नहीं तो आप शोएब बशीर को तो ऐसे ही 4 छक्का मार सकते हो. He started laughing because he said, ये क्या क्या बोल रहे हो भाई? I mean, it was hilarious, and he just started laughing. कि आप तो ऐसे ही 4 छक्का मार सकते थे उनको. But it was good to see. See, the point is this Indian side knows that it will be up against a challenge. And what was also good to see was he welcomed the return of Jofra. He said, I welcome and I'm happy that he's back because he's not played as a cricketer.
For him, no?
As a cricketer, and he will start.
It's the speed.
So he was welcoming of Jofra as a cricketer should be. Shubhayan asked him the question about Akashdeep, and he said these conversations, let them remain personal because you don't want. Let him say if he wants to say, but yes, हम लोगों ने तो इसके बारे में बहुत कुछ बात किया, IPL के समय भी बात किया था, but I don't want to talk about it more because it's a more personal domain as far as
that's nice.
this
I think
Akashdeep
most
is
Indian
concerned.
bowlers, by the way, will not bowl today because there are spinners and pacers who have
been
asked to
ready
come. Yeah.
for the net session.
Careful.
No, these don't bite.
How do you
These
know?
don't sting.
How do you
It's a
know?
bumblebee. Bumblebees
So who
don't
is the
sting.
bumblebees don't
Bumblebees are the friendliest
Come and
bees
sting
in the
the
world.
bees.
You can go and
Do that.
I will, but she will
Don't
fly
be
away.
stupid. Don't be
No, I'm
stupid.
telling you, bumblebees don't sting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine,
not
but
even
calm
the
down.
point
We
of
don't
it,
want you to go and experiment with the bumblebee as it is. You've given us enough to munch. Okay, Ashish Punna.
Ashish Punna, welcome back. Very important to see hundreds from KL. Very impressive or important? Jaiswal and Nayar's bat.
Huh?
Very important to see hundreds from KL, Jaiswal and Nayar's bat.
Oh.
Gill and Pant have already carried the load of the runs. In the second test now, the top 3 should step up in this test. Ashish Punna pura spelling क्यों नहीं लिखते यार? He shortens everything. Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah.
I think KL and Jaiswal have both done well. If you see, Jaiswal has got an 80 and a 100. KL has got a 100 and a pretty decent enough 100 in Leeds, and also a 50. So it's not as if your openers haven't done well. Jaiswal and KL have both done well in Leeds. India got a 90 in the first innings, 90 for no loss. When is the last time? Don't remember. Even in Edgbaston, when England got out, that 7 over 50 run partnership, 90, when KL and Jaiswal came out really positive. I thought Rashid set the tone for India in the second day and had gotten off to a really good start. 64 for 1 is what India. Internet's bad.
Yeah. 1 second. Give us 1 second for it to reconnect. It all got stuck.
No, but are you sure?
Yeah.
I am on my India number.
This is the problem, not that.
No, but you were watching from here, right?
But this is the problem. The internet's bad.
So it's still right like this, is it?
Yeah.
Can you get back to normal data?
Yeah, I did. I am. How do I refresh this without
No, the Wi-Fi is the problem. I think.
Wi-Fi? तो मैंने disconnect कर दिया. Now I'm on data, so
Just bring it out.
should work fine now.
Because the data here was quite okay.
Yeah. Data is never the problem. Can you check?
Neil is saying stuck.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if this works now. Better.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, now it should be fine. Now it should be fine. Freeze. It's okay now? Yeah. Thank you. I think we were under that or whatever. Something happened. Whatever
No,
the
the
reason was.
Wi-Fi suddenly went off. I was connected to the media Wi-Fi.
Media Wi-Fi will not connect outside of
No,
that.
it was working fine till now. I've been doing it since the morning. But suddenly I think there must have been some network issue, so it went off. But you're not in the frame. No, you just... What are you doing? Come here. Yeah.
Okay, so what were we talking about? We were talking about the Rishabh
Rishabh.
Pant points, and yes, that was the other interesting point. And I thought Rishabh's body language was very calm. I thought Rishabh's body language exuded confidence. I thought India silently knows that they have a chance. India will, and he was asked about the wicket. He was asked about তুই thumbs up কোথায় জোগাড় করলি? কে দিচ্ছে? থামস আপ বিক্রি করছে অপূর্ব তা কিনতে হবে
They're selling this? Oh, okay.
সো সো থামস আপ এর বিরিয়ানি ওয়ান কান্ট মিস ইট অরুণি এই থামস আপটা দে আগে শোতে দেখাই একবার থামস আপ এর ক্যান তুই খাবি আমি তোর থেকে নিয়ে নিচ্ছি না ডোন্ট ওয়ারি সো হি ইজ অ্যাকচুয়ালি গট আ থামস আপ ক্যান and sponsors by the way so anyone who's watching Kaustav and my friends this one
Yes,
is
it is.
Trisha got really scared that this video is sponsored by who. So it is.
Like,
It is.
look, you guys mess up, I will have to handle it again.
What handle what?
In case something happens, I don't know. The back end. Nothing. Coming
Actually,
back
no.
to Rishabh Pant.
Yes, I think
You need
India was
You need to
Rishabh
one
Pant
step,
was.
yeah.
It was an interesting press conference. Not too much given away, but there were subtle hints at multiple things about this Indian team. Team formation, wicket. Somebody asked him about the wicket, and he said, "We are not really concerned about what they dish out to us. We are ready for everything." And you know, were they kind of taken aback by too much batting friendly conditions? Not like that is what Rishabh's answer was. What was interesting for me, Gargi, in that press conference was
Yeah.
that at no point was Rishabh willing to commit to
Anything.
I mean, no, that not the team. So that
I mean,
he kept it vague.
I don't get surprised by those things anymore. I mean, this is the
हाँ, ठीक
Indian
है.
team. They always release their playing 11 at the toss. You don't expect them to come out a day or two ahead of the match and talk about the.
I think the players will now come because if they're getting ready, if they're getting ready, see, I think and
So should we wrap up this one, get our updates, and come live again?
if we come live, we will come live after about an hour.
Yes.
Once we
get
see
enough
much of
to-
the,
yes, of
and
course.
then we will come live again. So it's about, let's do 4 more minutes and close, but we will come live after we've observed the Indian nets. But let's quickly take some questions. How is the pitch now? Have you seen? You went up to the media box. Did you take a look at it?
It looks like not as green as yesterday. Yesterday it was pretty green. Now it's been, I think, shaved off. Now it's got that tinge of brown as well. And I think the pitch curator, what he's saying, that there's going to be a lot of juice and bounce. I think he's obviously right about that. And I don't see it playing much like the Edgbaston pitch. I don't think this is going to be a very batting paradise. There will be, I think, a lot for the Pacers to extract from.
I think first 2 days.
Yeah.
I think first 2 days, and then Lords conventionally will flatten out.
Yeah.
New
100%.
Weir, tell how much grass, grass. See here, unlike Australia, the grass was higher, but we've got to see what exactly the final day decision is. Lord Thakur in Lords, find it difficult.
Don't
Find
think
it
that's
difficult. Vihir Shah watching Rishabh's press conference reminds me of Rohit Sharma. Similar personalities. Both have character, both are funny, witty in their kind of answers. Rishabh, Rohit, interesting people for sure. Arvind, when is the last time I have visited? When is the first time you visit? Sorry, not the last time. Last time was yesterday. My stupidity. When was the first time you visited the Lord's Museum? 2001. 2001 February, March. When I was a student here. I was a student here at Oxford University. That was the first time I visited the Lord's Museum.
Yeah.
That was it. How's the pitch now? If the pitch is green, Arshdeep
it's
in
not
place,
green.
place of NKR.
No, I don't think there are any other changes that I'm very confident about, except the fact that obviously Prasidh Krishna will go out and Jasprit Bumrah will find a place. Will
Aniruddha
come back
Bhaduri,
into the
weak
team.
link number 3, Karun Nair.
Would you call it a weak link? He's been unable to what do you call it? Convert his innings for sure. He's not been able to get any big runs, but at the same time he's starting well, except that second innings at the Edgbaston where he was really getting beat. But you also have to remember that Bryden Carr and Chris Woakes were spitting fire from both ends, so you understand why he was struggling. But at the same time, is it still a toss-up between Sai Sudarshan and Karun Nair? I'm not sure. I think
that
we
was
will
a
have
question.
to look at today's practice session to get a better
Very
idea.
closely.
Yeah. If there are-
Kuldeep Yadav should play, somebody says.
Don't think.
Keshav Agarwal. I feel 2 changes. Bumrah for Prasidh, Sai for Nitish, Ashish O. Saurav Chitnis, pitch is green, Arshdeep in place of NKR. Aditya Yadav.
Chahar is here.
Where?
Where?
At Lords.
What?
If he's here, then he'll definitely come in. I mean, if he's here,
Bowling.
he'll come and he's a good friend. So we can have a chat with him also
Oh, okay.
if Deepak Chahar is here. Chance of Kuldeep Yadav, Sudarshan in place of Naveen Kumar, in place of Nitish Reddy. Talk about Bumrah. Bumrah was sensational yesterday at the Nets. We had done did we do a special package on Bumrah yesterday?
No, we didn't.
We did. I think Trisha and Rohan did a commentary of Bumrah
Oh
bowling.
yes,
no?
while he was bowling.
When
Yes,
he was
yes,
bowling,
yes,
I thought Trisha and Rohan did a commentary, and Bumrah was fantastic, absolutely fantastic at the Nets. 300, 400, 500 wicket, difficult to say. And again, difficult to say at the first innings. If you see the WTC final, first couple of days, fabulous bowling efforts from the Australians and the South Africans. Rabada was brilliant, but then the pitch flattened out, and that Aiden Markram 100, Temba Bavuma 50, and you could see that it was much easier to bat on. I met you in Dubai. Okay, good. Is any chance of Kuldeep Yadav? I think we've taken. Hi guys, here to say good job, keep it up. Thank you very much. Separate video on weather for all 5 days. चलो कर देंगे. But weather आपको बता देते हैं ना, ऐसे ही होगा. जैसे आप
गर्मी,
देख रहे हो,
गर्मी।
गर्मी है and temperatures are high. चलो खत्म करते हैं इसको.
Yes, yes.
And then we'll come back.
Chalo, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, in about an hour,
Yeah,
hour
we'll
and a
be
half.
back.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
be
be back soon. Thank you for watching.
Wow, the sun is
Is belting down.